through 3 hours of the regular show on terrestrial radio, and you wanted a little bit more, so that's why you found the Gun Talk After Show podcast, where we saved all the best things that we can't say on regular radio. Now here's Tom, Michelle, and Jim for the Gun Talk After Show.
We're here. It's the After Show. Got Jim and Michelle. Hello, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
It was quite the interesting show, wasn't it?
It was.
Started out fast and furious, right?
Well, we had the the Brady campaign. I keep saying campaign. The Brady folks, Brady bunch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the spokesperson, Kylie Ann. She was good.
Yep.
I mean, misdirected and factually incorrect on some stuff, but I respect the fact that she wants to push, what she wants to push. But the problem is, it's gun control that won't do any good.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And then to back it up with Jake was like, you say you're a gun guy, but you don't know what comprehensive background checks are.
Right. He's running for the Senate for Montana as a Democrat. And I mean, they pushed hard to get on the show. And at first I said, no, I don't know, guys, you're not really going to talk about guns. He said, well, we'll talk about that a little bit. So, okay. I don't think he got what he was looking for out of it, that's for sure.
Yeah. When he said clips instead of mags, I was a little suspect. And a caller picked up on it, too.
Yeah, you kind of go, okay.
Yeah, but when you didn't know what's involved in universal background checks, like, well, that's convenient. You've been told what you needed to be told, and that's it.
Right.
And you didn't bother doing your own legwork.
He says, but I'm talking about when you buy guns. I said, but that's not what the law is. Yeah, but I'm talking about, that's not what, you're advocating passing this law, and that's not what the law does. You need to talk about what the law does, not what you wish it would do.
Right. So we already have a system that works, and now that we fixed it, even better.
Speaking of gun laws, Dwayne is called in. He's in Centennial, Colorado. Hey, Dwayne.
Yeah, well, good afternoon.
I'm glad that you called. By the way, I'm going to be in Centennial in September over at the Centennial Gun Club when they have their big, basic Gunapalooza, if you will, something we're on Saturday. So that's going to be fun.
Firearms Festival, I'll be there. I was just over there this morning.
Isn't that a great range?
It is. Good people. Certainly enjoyed it and certainly need the practice.
Don't we all?
Yeah, who doesn't?
Yeah. It's interesting, just a comment before I get to the reason I called in is on the radio station that I'm listening to, your show is still going, yet here on the radio show on hold, we're on the after show.
Well, that I can multitask. I'm actually doing the show live while we're doing the after show. No.
2 microphones, 2 headsets.
And,
I can understand.
And half a brain.
So efficient, you're ahead of yourself.
No. It's tough here in Colorado with the altitude and the partial pressure of oxygen and my old gray matter. I mean, it's tough to multitask anymore.
But you know what happens, and this is absolutely true, as you get higher in altitude, it only takes like 1 or 2 drinks and you're just hammered. So.
Yeah. It can be very efficient.
That's right.
The reason I called,
yes, sir,
if I may, is I appreciate hearing about the universal background checks earlier on the show, which is still not making much sense the way it's been marketed, so to speak.
Right.
But they've also been talking about the red flag laws lately. And to me, the red flag laws, and if you're probably aware that Colorado just got a horrible one that's still raising dust, is nothing more than a strictly, anti-gun, anti-Second Amendment maneuver by the folks that are pushing that. And the reason I say that is not that I want people that shouldn't have guns to have guns. I mean, I think that's a given from anyone.
Sure.
If there's a truly at-risk person, there should be some sort of intervention. But a red flag law only addresses guns. Here in Colorado, almost anybody can make a complaint, and first you know about it is they're knocking on your door, and they're taking away guns. But they don't respond with a mental health SWAT team. But the proponents of this say, it's to help mental health.
Yeah, they actually don't offer any help, do they?
They don't. Yet, on the books, I'd gone to some of the Colorado legislative hearings when they were pushing this thing through, and I heard the first time about Colorado's M1 hold or 72-hour hold or mental health hold or whatever they call it.
Mm-hmm.
So I went and looked it up. And if I'm reading it right, they already have rules on the books in which law enforcement or somebody can intervene with a person that's truly at risk and not just take guns away from the person and leave them with ball bats, bows and arrows and everything else, but take the person away from all dangerous weapons.
And get them help.
And get some help. It starts the person getting help right away. It starts the adjudication process right away. I know we were told, or I listened to people talk about the Deputy Parrish shooting, which is a tragedy, and they were standing up and saying, well, we just didn't have the tools to do anything about this. Yet, when I read this rules, now I have to take a step back. My legal training comes from Perry Mason reruns, so don't take everything to heart. But when I read that, they did have the tools to do something about that shooter. They had been notified from Wyoming. There was other flags.
Well, let me circle back, because the whole idea of the red flag law basically is you get to drop a dime on somebody you don't like, and that's the way it's been used. It's if somebody's going through a divorce and a wife calls in and said he made some threatening statements. I mean, this fellow, poor guy in Maryland who got killed by the police, they went to his house at 5 a.m. on a red flag law complaint. He goes to the door with a gun in his hand because people are banging on his door at 5 a.m, a fairly natural thing to do. He ends up getting shot and killed by the police, and then it turns out the complaint was bogus. That is how red flag laws work.
I fear it's going to be misused and set a terrible precedent. If they get their big toe in the door on that issue, what's next? Well,
and there will be people, and this is going to happen. I mean, it. There are going to be people who say, no, you're not taking my guns. We're here to take your guns. No. And it's going to end up being with guns fired in both directions. And that is the logical conclusion of this. When you don't have adjudication, you don't have due process, you don't give a person the chance to defend himself in court before his property gets taken at gunpoint. Now, if they wanted to say, here's my position. If they said, okay, we want to have a red flag law, but here's what we want. If you make the complaint, then it goes before court, and the person who's been complained against gets to go to court with his or her lawyer and defend himself. And if the complaint turns out to be bogus, the person who made the complaint has to pay all the legal fees.
Seems reasonable to me.
Yeah, that'll work. Okay, let's have some due process on the front end. And I think if this thing starts to make its way through Congress, that's going to be what gets put forth and say, okay, if you want this, then we're going to have due process, not after the fact. Not after you've taken my property, but on the front end. But honestly, it's going to be up to each one of us to let I'm not talking about, eventually I'm talking about this week, as you're hearing this right now, they are going to be taking this up. And we just have to call your senator's offices and call your congressman's office and just say, absolutely no to red flag laws, absolutely no to this universal background check. It's all just gun control.
And I've been doing that. I've been burning up the DSL, sending my emails. But when they have, to me, a law on the books where they could intervene, and not just against guns, but against anything else that's dangerous, they had the tools. So a red flag law, the way I'm reading it, and Colorado's is just horrendous. I've read a few, and they're all different.
You got such a mess in Colorado right now. Dwayne, I got to keep moving here, but I tell you what, when I come out there, make sure to come by and say hello when I'm out at that Centennial Gun Club, okay?
All right, you bet. I'll be there volunteering, and so I'll probably be around someplace.
Sounds good. We'll see you there. Look, I appreciate the call, sir. I do want to get to James before we have to hit our mandatory break here out of North Carolina. Hey, James, you still with us?
I'm here.
Oh, good. Thank you for holding on. What's on your mind?
Well, everybody looks at the tragedies that happen in our nation and immediately jump to taking the guns, controlling magazine capacity, making laws about ammunition, and nobody ever looks at the people who commit the crime. So here in El Paso, we have a criminal who shot up the Walmart. When the police arrived, He voluntarily, safely surrendered, said, I'm the shooter. He has said on more than one occasion, I've done it. Why isn't he executed already? The same
of course, the
thing
laws
happened.
don't work that way.
Well, I understand that. And the laws that we have are, everybody's looking for a solution. I'm looking for a solution that doesn't impact my Second Amendment right.
No doubt.
I'm not a big gun person. I have a couple, but I'm not a hunter. I don't go out and shoot them. I've got them, but you know what? It's my right to have them, and I don't want anybody taking that. The very same scenario I said about El Paso happened with the criminal that shot up the Batman movie theater. When the police arrived, he surrendered and said, I did it. There's no question after that. We know you did it. So why is he still in jail taking taxpayer money? So that's one thing that's on my mind. The other thing that's on my mind is public service announcement. If you think your problem is bad enough that you have to use a gun to solve it, then you don't know what trouble is like. Because once you shoot somebody with the gun to solve the problem, that's when your problems are really going to start. So I think people need to know that too, and the public service announcements could certainly tell people.
I understand where you're going with that. The problem is if you're mentally ill enough to do that, I'm not sure we get to you that way. And the other thing is, and I would just throw this out before we have to hit our break here, there are a lot of people who knew that these were troubled people. They didn't do anything. When you have a rape list and you have a kill list and the school knows about it and they don't do anything about it and law enforcement doesn't get involved, or like in Parkland, everybody knew about this and nobody does anything about it. And now you come back and say, if only we had a way to prevent this. Well, you did, and you didn't do it. I mean, I think we start to look at that a lot harder. James, thank you for your call. I appreciate that. Hey, guys, hold on a second here. We'll take a quick little break. We'll be right back.
Whether you carry it on your hip or in your hands, when it's from Springfield Armory, your gun is a part of the legendary line, the great 1911 pistols, the innovative XD, XDM, and XDS pistols for competition and defense, the new 911 carry pistol, guns you can count on. Shooters everywhere rave about the Saint pistols and rifles, and of course, the mighty M1A battle rifle. Check out the latest at springfield-armory.com.
This is Ryan Gresham with Gun Talk. Visit guntalk.com/win to enter our latest giveaway. This month, enter to win with Surefire. One person will win Surefire's X300U handgun light, featuring a stunning 1,000 lumens. And two folks will win Surefire Stiletto rechargeable pocket flashlight. Enter now through August 30th at guntalk.com/win. That's guntalk.com/win.
All right, back with you here. We're talking break there. The Parkland shooter, Broward County. Jim, you said how many reports were there?
As I recall, 31 or 32 different reports they had on this kid over the years of threats and different, psycho whack job stuff he was up to and claimed he was going to do. And they just, they categorized him as a whack job.
Well, they'd gone out to his home or wherever he was living.
Yes,
exactly.
Yeah.
There's also, and I've seen some lists compiled, and I don't know that they're verified, but I would really like to know just how many of these young, and they all, for the most part, seem to be young. I'd probably say 90% of them are, in their teens or early 20s. How many of them were on some sort of psychotropic drug, Prozac or something else?
Oh, yeah,
Seems to be a fairly high percentage of it.
Yep, but hardware's the problem. It's the gun, Tom.
Don't I remember that? I can't remember if it's Prozac. One of them, one of the warning label things, it says possibility of ideation of death and murder. Wow. In other words, this thing may make you consider killing people, killing yourself or other people. Gee.
But let's prescribe it like crazy anyway, okay?
Yeah, let's hand it out like candy.
Yep.
So anyway, and you guys heard me. I tried to take it easy. It wasn't, too hard, I don't think, on our first guest today, Kylie Ann. But at the same time, you have to ask the questions and say, no, that's not making any sense.
Well, and one of the things that I caught on to, because you had asked the question, where are you labeling children? What is the age that you were discussing children's death?
Right.
And she said up to the age of 17 or when they're able to buy a firearm. Well, they can't buy a handgun until they're 21. So therefore, your numbers are really skewed up to the age of 21.
And no one, I mean, within the community of doing this kind of research, if they're doing it honestly, considers teens to be children. Now, they may be youngsters, but when we talk about childhood accidental deaths, it's usually up to age 5 or up to age 9. When you start lumping in teenagers, you get into a whole different world, and it's a great way to inflate your numbers. That's what the Brady Group's doing, of course. And I'm glad that they contacted us, because the last time they contacted us, Sarah Brady was a no-show, and I think what happened, well, I know what happened. That was when Talkers Magazine put me on their list of the top 100 radio talk show hosts. And I think the White House just started booking Sarah Brady into everyone who was on that list.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Yeah.
And so, they contacted us, and we said, yeah, sure. And that was like on a Tuesday. And like on Thursday or Friday, they came back and said, yeah, we're not going to be able to do that. Because somebody actually looked at it and said, wait, this thing's called Gun Talk? Has anybody listened to the show?
Yeah.
But it wasn't interesting that it was actually the White House that was booking the gun control lobbyist?
Interesting, yes.
Yeah. It was Bill Clinton, Well, I love I don't want to get it. Love the posts that say, people marking themselves safe from the Clinton suicide cruise.
Yeah.
God. Oh, boy, what a mess. Yeah. What a mess. Well, let's see. Oh, Michelle, before I forget, when you get back to the store, check in the way back in the really dusty crevices and see if you've got like any really old 257 Weatherby ammo that's priced like at 1970 prices that I could buy.
Sure. I'll get right on that.
She's saying yes and shaking her head like he's out of his mind.
Yeah, again.
I can guarantee you I have none of that.
And neither does anybody else.
Out there. If you're out there.
I did find a guy who had, no kidding, 5 boxes of that early model stuff with the tiger on the box.
Mm-hmm. The artwork, yeah.
Yeah, that was cool artwork they used to do on those Weatherby ammo boxes. Now, it's loaded ammo, so, I bought it. And it's not the bullet I'm going to use. I'm not sure if I'm going to shoot it or pull the bullets.
So you're not really going to shoot that.
Yes, unless I can find a source for brass, I am.
It's obviously a collector's item.
No, just the boxes are collector's items. I'll keep the boxes, but I'll use the brass.
Nice.
And I'm, getting in my loading dies. But now I need to, back an 18-wheeler up to the house with powder because... These things use so much powder.
That's not suspicious.
68 grains. 68 grains of powder in each round. Mm-hmm. It's like a half a coffee cup.
So, Jim and Michelle, why are you substituting for Tom for the next 20 years?
I'm not sure if it's going to be 20. It might be 10 to 20. That's what they said.
Got trucks of gunpowder in his driveway. No biggie.
10 to 20, yeah. Oh, man. But, yeah, it's 7,000 grains in a pound, so basically you could get 100 rounds out of a pound. That's not a lot. So, but then again, that cartridge is not one you're going to go shoot a whole lot of because after about 1,500 rounds, you're looking for a new barrel.
Yeah, right.
As a competition shooter, a buddy of mine says, barrels are consumables. They're you just shoot them and you replace them, right?
That's right.
When you're, I spent some good time with a lady that has shot a lot of service rifle.
Really?
The other day. So I bet you guys have crossed paths. Janelle at Davenport Guns in Davenport, Iowa.
Oh my God, she was Michelle's maid of honor. What a coincidence.
We had a shotgun wedding, duh.
Duh. Not a rifle wedding. It wasn't a service rifle wedding, for heaven's sakes.
3-slug limit.
Oh, God. When you say I'm going to have a slug, you're not talking about whiskey here. Okay. But I'm bump.
Yeah.
Anyway, we were just shooting the breeze. And she's done, it's kind of like you guys going to all these different matches everywhere and talk about Perry and Benning and, just all the things. So it was kind of fun.
It's a fun world.
Yeah. And it's an interesting world of like-minded people. It's just... And it's a community, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And there's still the people that travel to these shoots because they're international shooters regardless. So you have people from Australia and Germany, and they're out and about at these shoots, and they're just mesmerized by what we have and what we can shoot.
Oh.
And it's that freedom. They have lost that. And, that's what they all say. Like, you have to fight hard. Yeah. Really, you need to fight hard to keep this.
They do. That's what they tell you. They say, you guys don't understand. Don't take it for granted. Fight hard for it. We lost it.
Yes.
We didn't have a Second Amendment.
Right. Yep. So, yeah.
You said something, Michelle, that was interesting, because I've been thinking we need to use this word more. The word is freedom. So much of this stuff is anti-freedom. Mm-hmm. But people don't use the word freedom in that context very often these days, about do we have freedom, and how do we preserve our freedom. In fact, it almost sounds like you get branded as one of these radicals when you start talking about freedom. But
yeah, isn't that a turn?
Yeah, it really is.
Well, and you look at, like, and I'm going to get a lot of hate mail here, but if you look, a lot of millennials.
Wait a minute, I'm typing mine up now for you right now.
Thank you. Thank you. You just use a form letter, don't you? Just cut.
That's true. I just hit send. It's the same one. You get it every day.
But a lot of the millennials and stuff have no experience with any kind of wartime stuff. They were just born around the time of the Middle East War, etc., and they take it for granted. They've had a cush life, just kind of kicking back, being easy, and they take for granted the freedoms they do have, and we're the whack jobs because we're so worried about losing these.
Well,
it's so far divorced from way back from World War II.
Right.
Of course, none of us was there then, but our parents were, so we've got a connection to it.
Right.
Well, and I really think that it's just comes down to the fact that patriotism.
Yes.
To me, that's what it is. You have to be a patriot about something. And no, we're not just single issue voters, but this is something that impacts everybody's lives. It's your first right. They're not messing with the ability to have speech. No, they're attacking the Second Amendment.
Yeah, it's problematic, that's for sure. So, and it was funny because I picked this up from Ryan. He was commenting to somebody on Facebook who said, yeah, I'm buying magazines, buying stuff. I'm going to store it. I'm going to stack it up. I'm going to hide it. And he says, how about if you devote some of that energy and some of that money into actually stopping it and preventing the problem right now?
Well, and do people really think that they aren't going to find it?
Well, if you have to hide it and you can't shoot it, then they actually have gotten it.
Exactly. They've already won.
They've won. Yeah, that's a done deal. And if you have to get into, people say, well, we're going to have a shooting war. Well, if you get into that, you really lost. How about let's not get into a shooting war with our, we did that thing back in, 1861 or whatever it was. We don't want to do that again.
Right.
And the way you do that is you get involved and you give some money. You say, okay, how about, what would it take? What could, if you said, what's a number an average person, anybody could put down on this on a monthly basis? What would be a
$10.
$10.
Yeah, $10, $20, somewhere in there.
$20.
Right?
$20, $5 a week. Mm-hmm. Is there anybody who can't find?
It's a cup of coffee, for Pete's sake.
Yeah, I just read a novel. He said, "Oh, you love this." Great line. Guy says he was dead as nickel coffee. He was dead as nickel coffee.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I read stories about Texas Rangers. It was pretty funny.
Except maybe at Wall Drug. They might still have that.
That's true. They might. You're right. See Wall Drug. Man, I've seen all those signs out there.
Right.
Golly. But yeah, it's a great point. It's Jim, it's a cup of coffee. It's 2 cups of coffee if you shop carefully. So, and that's a week, $5 a week. If we had 20 times 12, that's $240 a year.
Mm-hmm. Or the idea that our listener gave us about a month back, maybe 2 months back. I don't know. I'm always drunk on air. I can't remember anything. Yeah. But yeah, he puts change in an ammo box.
Yep.
And he has a few $100 every couple of years. He goes through and it fills up. He cashes it in. Why not do something like that?
I like that idea. We all come home with
a day and change every day.
Yeah, you're throwing down change that you got through the day. Although that's less and less so as people use credit cards to pay for something that costs $1.27.
Yeah,
it's like what? True. Really? Debit card? And young people don't carry cash at all. Just got their debit card. So, but yeah, okay. If you said if we had pick a number, 1 million of us who could put down $240 a year, do the $5 a week deal, Gee, that's $250 million.
Amazing.
We could actually probably do something with that. We could buy Wayne LaPierre a mansion. Oh, wait, did I say that out loud? I'm sorry.
Oh, trust me, he's got one from us already.
Oh, no. You guys didn't see the story this week about his mansion?
No. What now?
No. Okay.
No.
Yes. Evidently last year, there were discussions about buying him a $6 million mansion in Dallas. 10,000 square foot place. Supposedly because he needed the security.
Well, he can't afford that himself, Tom. Come on.
Well, evidently, this is the reason it fell apart was because supposedly the PR agency Ackerman McQueen, which I thought would do anything, said, we will not set up a phony corporation to run this through, which is what was being suggested as a way to hide the money.
Oh, nice.
From the members. Yeah, $6 million house for Wayne, but we have to keep it from the members to find out about it.
Yeah, if you lived in an ordinary house, you wouldn't need that security.
You know, he is such damaged goods at this point. He has no credibility whatsoever. And we need the NRA being strong today, this week, because we got Republicans who are waffling.
Yeah.
And we need somebody to put some steel in their spines. And, I mean, who's going to listen to him now when all these stories just keeps rolling out? And I know people say, well, that's the New York Times saying that. Just because it comes from them doesn't mean it's not factual. Everything that I've heard so far has pretty much been backed up from the sources that I have within.
Yeah, he had a nice little conversation with Trump this week, evidently, too.
Yeah. Well, okay. I mean, I'm glad that he's still working on it. All
right, well,
conversations.
After this break, I got to throw out a couple thank yous, if that is okay, sir.
Oh, you're welcome, Jim. We'll let you come back next week.
Thanks so much. That didn't work out how I planned. Damn it.
Never does.
All right.
The Kimber Evo SP is a 9mm carry gun with reliability you can count on and looks you can brag about. And now you can save $100 with a rebate on the Kimber Evo SP. Learn more about this great deal on the Kimber Evo SP at KimberAmerica.com. That's KimberAmerica.com. Or ask about the Kimber Evo SP at your local gun dealer.
You got your carry permit, and that's good. But you could use more training. Get the DVDs, which have what you need. Springfield Armory presents Concealed Carry 1 and Concealed Carry 2 with Battle Group. Learn specific concealed carry skills from Top Gun fighting trainers. Get trained. Be prepared. This really is life and death. ShopGunTalk.com. That's ShopGunTalk.com.
New guns, new ammo. Oh, I, by the way, alluded to something during the show, so I will allude to it again. There's more stuff coming, new guns I keep hearing about. One of them that we have actually gotten to play with.
Oh, what is that?
It is really a nice
What's
thing.
the exact brand and model numbers? What does it do that you're not allowed to talk about because you're non-disclosure agreement?
The Blitz Plexomodern, the 327.
Oh, yeah, they're great.
Oh, throw that in there, yeah. Let's see.
Just saw her blood pressure rise.
Wait, her eyes just got big?
No, yeah.
Why did they call me first?
Damn them.
Makes no sense.
Magnum.
There you go.
All right, Jim, who you want to thank?
I want to thank you, Well, first of all, I want to thank you for letting me cut out of the after show last week. That was cool.
It was actually pleasant here without...
you were gone?
I'm sorry.
Nice. Hell with both of you. I'm out of here. We took a buddy of ours, Gavin, a young special needs man. We took him to meet Ted Nugent. And I figured it would be hey, Ted, you want an autograph? Here's, an autograph shirt, kid, move along.
Right.
I didn't know what it would be, but I figured he's a busy guy, and it's before a show, and he's not going to have a lot of time and stuff.
He was doing a concert, right?
He's doing a concert right near us, about 15 minutes away. And he, it's great, cheap shot at me the minute he saw me. It was great.
What did he do?
He walked in and goes, oh, this must be Gavin and his mom, huh? I said, yes, sir.
Oh.
He goes, good. Who are you? Thanks, Ted. It's great. It was funny. But yeah, he's talked to all of us for a few minutes, and he took Gavin aside and he was talking to him, and he probably gave him 15, maybe nearly 20 minutes of his personal time just to talk in generalities. And this kid's got some real struggles, and
Gavin's young.
Gavin's 13. He's 13. Yeah. He was born with several really, really odd birth defects that they said he'd last about a year. Well, we met him, I don't know, 6 months ago or so, 8 months back. And he sang with the band, and it was great. Everybody loved him. We invited him back. And then we got him a guitar for his birthday back in May. And I started to think, I'm like, Ted's coming here in August. I'm going to pull a professional courtesy favor. And he was more than gracious. Well, you were involved on that, too. He was more than gracious to do it. And he sure didn't skimp the kid on time whatsoever. He spent a lot of time with him, as did his wife, Shemaine. Just great couple. And that's why, really, Ted and I and you, we don't agree on everything. I don't necessarily agree on his delivery. I'm sure he wouldn't on mine. But set all the celebrities stuff aside and his directness and stuff, he's a straight-up guy.
Well, he is. I mean, a lot of people don't know him. He actually operates a kids camp.
Mm-hmm.
He just doesn't make much noise about it. But, I mean, they've got a kids camp doing outdoor stuff.
Yeah, and that's been going on for probably 20 years, 15, 20 years. Yeah.
Yes.
So, anyway.
He's
thanks,
the real
Ted.
deal.
Thanks, Uncle Ted.
Yeah, we appreciate it, Ted. We sure do. Yeah, that was great. I mean, he just is like instant. Yes, of course, we'll do that.
Didn't bat an eyelid. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like sure, of course, and that was very cool and very neat. And I just want to say thanks to you because you didn't have to do that. So that was going above and beyond.
Well, I just wanted to see if Ted's still got it at 71, playing 6,337 shows, and he
can he still play?
He kicked total ass. He just did.
He really can rock a guitar.
Oh, my God, yeah. And I figured they're going to have two guitarists because they always have in the past.
Right.
Nope, just Ted. Ted
really?
Was bass player and drummer. Yeah, with three people. And they were tight, super tight.
Holy cow. I mean, and for people to know, you're a guitar player.
Yeah, and a sound guy, so I'm listening for, I'm finding mistakes. That's what I do for a living.
Right.
And they were super, super tight. And great crew and everything it was very well orchestrated. Still casual. It wasn't like totally, to the letter. Everything was scripted, but
right.
It sure was slick. They did what they needed to do when they did, and they sounded great. And he's just got a S-ton of energy, let's say.
So no lip syncing?
No. And Milli Vanilli didn't open for him. I was really surprised at
Strange.
that. Yeah. And great opener act, too. And just it was a great show all the way around. But the highlight of it was, just the time he spent with a kid that loved it.
That he didn't have to.
Yep.
That's the deal. Yep. Didn't have to, and gave him his time. And that's the most precious thing we all have. We all have the exact, I don't care how much money you have. We all have the exact same amount of time. So when you spend time doing something, you are spending the most precious thing you have.
Right. And
Amen.
He didn't have to do it, and he didn't bat an eyelid. That's cool. His response was great. So
very good. So, Mr. 4570 guy.
Oh, yeah.
Who doesn't shoot his gun.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Well, finding a holster for it's kind of a drag. And
you got to find a horse.
Speaking of, I went back to IWB carry this week because you care so much.
Yes.
I'm almost thinking about going back to my smart carry. Only because in my profession outside of gun talk, get a lot of people in public, and I've had a couple of people hug me lately, and as their hands drift down, it's like,
yeah. It's a real thing. It's like you got to do the low swimming motion where your right hand goes low because everybody wants their hand, and you're a taller guy, so when they hug, women hug you down low, right. And it'd be weird for them to go up high. So yeah, I understand what you're saying. I think you just ought to go with open carry and just say to hell with it all.
Yeah, that works.
So look, yes, that is a gun. Yes, it is. Of course it is.
But people even bump into you and stuff. You get the raised eyebrow look like, is that what I think it is? And
I told you what my comeback is. I haven't had to use it yet. They go, what is this? Well, that's my colostomy bag.
Oh gosh.
And then they just shut the hell up.
Yeah. You want to see it?
Tell them it's a medical device.
Yeah, check this out.
Which it is kind of. It's a life-saving thing.
It certainly is. So I'm thinking about for in crowds, it might be better for me to do the crotch carry.
Funny you mentioned it.
Nobody's going there.
I was recommending smart carry to someone a couple of days ago.
It's got its place.
It's part of the system.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing I've been doing is I've actually been doing outside the waistband, belt carry, but with a cover garment. which is really comfortable.
Yep.
Man, I like that.
You probably have less back issues, too, because I know this inside the waistband was causing me a couple of back issues. This morning,
yeah, the inside the waistband at the 4 o'clock position causes me back problems.
Yep.
It really does. And especially if you're sitting leaning up against it. Oh, man. So that's why I really like belt carry with a shirt tail out or a cover garment or something. It's just so darn comfortable. So, but I'm thinking the way to just fix the whole deal is to go with the 2-gun belt setup, probably single action Army, and open carry that way.
Bandolero, maybe?
Yeah. Well, that way, people aren't really worried, is he carrying or not?
Right. There's
They can kind of
guesswork.
tell. It's just there. But if you do that, you've got to get a cowboy hat.
So do we have some theme music?
Dun, 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 dun.
I'll come up with something spurs the moment.
Way to go, Hoss.
See? He'll have the holster you need for your 4570 then, Jim.
Yes, he will. What do they call it? Scabbard or whatever?
Yeah. Yep.
A scabbard.
Scabbard.
A horse scabbard. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't still have any of your motorcycles, do you?
I do's. I sure do's.
You could do a scabbard for your 4570.
I saw a guy with a full decked out cowboy bike, Harley. It was cool.
Yeah?
It was great.
Oh, yeah.
Leather saddlebags, rifle mount on the back. It was cool.
Just don't try to do the Arnold Schwarzenegger on the motorcycle where you cock it by flipping the gun up and around.
Yeah.
Like in Terminator. Yeah.
I've cut way down on that.
Yeah. It's, at best, you're going to smack yourself in the forehead with the barrel. At worst, you're going to shoot yourself. So let's not be doing that.
Okay. Thanks for pointing that out.
Yeah. Just a thing there. Okay. Because, it would take us 6-7 days to replace you.
Oh, easy.
At least. Yeah. And that's, just to figure out where the keys are. So
we got any intern can run the board. It's no big deal.
Yeah, that's right. We'll go on YouTube. We'll figure out how to do that. Everything's on YouTube,
yes,
right?
It is. Here's how you do radio broadcasts. No problem.
That's right. Brain surgery on YouTube. Okay.
I'm sure every studio's identical in every way.
It's got knobs. I sent you that thing.
Oh, yeah, that was great.
Wasn't that hilarious?
Sends me a thing, Michelle. Well, I can't share it with you, Michelle. It's really off color and inappropriate. He sends me a thing. It's a thing from The Onion or Babylon Bee. It was a parody site. And it's talking about how they're interviewing this church sound man. He finally confesses he doesn't know what any of the buttons do or lights. It's just, the guy
says, at the end he says, yeah, but if you move these slider things around, you can make really nice patterns.
It looked cool. Bass player wanted more monitors, so I just pushed some numbers and nodded my head at him. And
he said, yeah, now you got it. He said, that's better, much better.
And he had inadvertently taken him totally out of the mix. That was great.
You can do that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, now you're giving her some ideas.
Yeah, it's real simple. All you got to do is...
Well, the thing that I'm...
Exactly. I went to do the same thing. Of course, I hit the wrong button, hit Michelle's mic, and turned her off. So kind of loses the impact.
Yeah, but I thought it was yours, so it's all right.
But if you go on YouTube, you know how to do that.
Right.
So there you go.
I'll get back to you.
I'll pay more attention.
Okay. No, you won't.
Okay. You're right. I'm busy.
Okay, you're right.
I'm busy doing something else.
That's right. Doing my nails. Come on, give me a back there. That's Jim doing his nails over there. He had a spa day too.
That's right.
You have a spa day scheduled somewhere along the way?
Yeah, every time you want to book an off day, I'm just saying, I'm sorry, nails, hair, and tanning appointment that day.
There it is.
Can't make
it.
There
it is.
Obviously, you didn't make the tanning appointment.
Oh, you saw these legs, did you?
Got to wear sunglasses?
I don't think I ever saw anything that skinny and that white. Those are pale, brother.
You can get out in the sun, fella.
Yeah.
I thought he was wearing socks, but he's not.
Now, that's bad.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, that's just bad.
Yeah.
Oh, Lordy.
Okay, well, you guys
I'm getting me some ammo. I got 4570. We're going to get you a little bit of this Black Hills ammo up there so you can not shoot it along with the rest of your stuff you're not shooting.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
There's some incentive. I'm out of the sun now, actually. I have been in the sun for the past 3 weeks. Thank you, Michelle.
Oh.
Sit there.
Sorry. Didn't notice.
And still look this bad.
But we're going to go spray tan.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, yeah. Turn him orange.
Yep.
That'll be great. You look like world's biggest basketball right there.
Yes, sir. Spalding across my forehead.
That's right, tattoo. Spalding. That's right. By the way, you know that the movie Castaway,
Yep.
Tom Hanks. They went to Spalding to have them call the basketball Spalding, and they wouldn't go for it, so they went to Wilson. And of course, that became famous. So he's calling for Wilson, his lost basketball.
Right.
Oh, my
deal.
goodness.
Right.
But Spalding passed up the chance at that.
And they're going, damn it. Well, speaking of movies, in closing, I'm glad that Universal got some wits about them and canceled the movie The Hunt. I'm really sick to my stomach that they would even invest the money to make something that's
That was going to be, it's a movie about elite leftist hunting deplorables, hunting and killing conservatives.
But we're the
they were
whack
actually going
jobs,
to release it.
remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, we're the ones with the problem.
Yeah, right. Yeah, except they're the ones that actually shoot people.
Wow.
I mean, it's not like a movie. They actually do that. That's what they do.
Okay.
All righty, on that happy note, more ammo. Simple as that.
Keep us posted, man.
Right, don't hoard. Get on board. All right. Have a good week, guys.
See you, man.
See you, Tom.
Well, that wraps up another Gun Talk After Show. But if you want even more gun-related stuff, don't forget to check out Gun Dealio. It's the app for Apple and Android phones that connects you to all the Gun Talk shows, plus even more. And we'll catch you next time for the Gun Talk After Show.